Thank you, Brett. So this keynote was relayed during Russell's retirement ceremony. Happy to be here and share it with you on behalf of Dr. Ryser. My name is Kiaux, in celebration of powerful leadership, by Rudy Ryser, PhD, Chair of the Board of Directors of the Center for World Indigenous Studies. During the long history of the Yakama Nation, there have been many men and women who have stepped forward to provide a reassuring vision, strength, courage, and understanding toward the protection and enrichment of the Yakama people. In doing so, the Yakama is recognized as a source of leadership to have bettered the world through these powerful voices. One of those commanding voices of leadership is Dr. Russell Jim, whom we remember today. As we remember Russell, Doctor of Philosophy, we know him to be a holder of generations of Yakama knowledge and the leading voice defending the people against threats to life and well-being originating from the most contaminated nuclear facility in the world at Hanford. Since before the U.S. government enacted the 1982 Nuclear Waste Policy Act, he sounded the alarm, urging that this new enactment recognize the nation as an affected tribe. Through the insertion of this language in U.S. legislation, the nation and other nations obtained a seat at the table to decide how and when highly radioactive wastes would be disposed. Just as he learned English as a second language, when a young boy, Russell, as a political leader, also learned the language of nuclear radiation sciences, as well as the substance of strategies for disposing of wastes. For many people who first met Russell and heard his public speeches about nuclear waste disposal, receiving detailed descriptions of nucleotides, strontium-90, adverse effects of these mysterious things on life, it's sometimes jarring to the mind and to the senses. His listeners saw that the day is a man wearing a colorful vest with hair woven into long braids, speaking slowly, with measured tone, describing the radioactive half-life of nuclear fission products that would last 17 million years to dissipate. Some can't believe this man, rooted in culture, spoke so clearly about the matters. He spoke of the serious and long-term injury radioactive waste caused wildlife, plants, water, air, and human beings as well. His voice rose to warn listeners that decisions must be made to stop the flow of new nuclear waste shipments into the lands within Yakama ceded territory. He reminded listeners over and over again that radioactive waste is like no other threat to life on this planet, and that our native peoples are being made to suffer the most, since the waste is dumped in our tribal territory. He blended ancient teachings from the Yakama spiritual and learned past with the language of English speakers as well as public policy decision makers. He spoke the languages of Yakama sciences and holistic environmental management alongside the conventional sciences and contemporary political life. He had over the years worked to inspire and inform young and old alike to open their minds and exercise creative energies, engaging in difficult tasks of identifying solutions to problems facing the Yakama. You here today do know that we all share the responsibility first taken on by him to find effective solutions to problems created by human beings, such as the problem of nuclear waste disposal. He has defined the path, and we're all obliged to walk that path. We've stood with Russell for more than half a century to see him grow strong of conviction, clear of purpose, and firm in mission. He served in many political, cultural, scientific, and social roles, including member of the Center for World Indigenous Studies as board of directors. He remained the center's board for 33 years, inspiring everyone to continue work along the shared path. We're proud to know Russell, and we're reminded of the many battles that we've engaged in today's world. We're reminded over and over again about the challenges he stood to meet as he traveled with world-renowned Chief George Manuel to Peru in 1980 for World Conference of Indigenous Peoples, and then in 97 to speak before a world conference on violence and human coexistence, and the many trips to Washington, D.C. to persuade Congress to respond to Yakama concerns about nuclear waste. Scores and scores of meetings at ATNI, where he served as president of the organization. He spoke firmly, eloquently, with convincing knowledge, encouraging listeners that they too must take action to preserve, protect, and guarantee life on this planet. And we listened. Speaking with the voice of his grandmother who watched over him as he grew to manhood, he spoke Indian to his family and to Yakama children who would learn seven drum or washat. He shared vision of the ancient roots of the Yakama in the longhouse ceremonies and at funerals, knowing what to do so people would not forget rich foundations. He's the voice of the past, present, and future, all combined in the moment of now. His intellectual strength, as well as indomitable courage, stands against the tapestry of the Yakama history, providing a legacy to inform, inspire, and prosper the minds and actions and within the program and all your colleagues here now. Today, we join in remembering Russell, and if he was here, we would say, your path is clear, we join you, and we shall win the day. Thank you.